Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jerry Cooey.
I'm Deborah Nelson.
And we are so happy that you have chosen to sit here and
be subjected to rants and raves.
We, this has just been so much fun. I enjoy it, and we get a lot of good feedback. A matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, you never really know how many people watch the show, but we did one show that didn't have Deborah and I's face in it, and wow, there's email and things showing up on blogs. Oh, the show must have ended. Ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you, the show's not going to end. Myself and the many sponsors that we have for this show are going to continue on.
And I'd just like to interject that if anyone would like to have an ad during the show, please contact the address at the end of the title.
Right, absolutely.
We'd be happy to work that out with you.
If you agree with the content, if you appreciate what we do, and you would like to have your ad on our TV program, we'll be more than happy. I'm sure that we will have
several slots available.
Yeah, we will have very comparable rates to other media outlets. So
I guarantee we can beat Channel 3's prices.
Yeah, we'll come in somewhere between Channel 3 and the Thrifty Nickel.
Yeah.
So this year, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to prime the pump for you about something, and certainly Deborah and I have an opinion on this item, and we're going to express that opinion. You're going to hear a lot about hometown democracy this year.
I have no official opinion on that item.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I will be the one who has an opinion on it. The hometown democracy, which will be...
It's Florida Hometown Democracy.
And it will be Amendment 4.
Yes.
Is how
right.
It's in its current form will be number 4.
Right. On the November ballot.
And that will be on your November ballot. That is correct. And to give you a little history, and I know that myself, I see it in our county. I've watched it in other counties, and I know it goes on statewide. There seems to be a little too much influence by large-scale developers over the political process sometimes, and we have a comp plan in Santa Rosa County.
A comprehensive plan.
Right.
It's supposed to guide growth.
Right, and
the reason you want to guide growth is because it's expensive for taxpayers.
Right.
If it just happens everywhere and you put a big subdivision in the middle of the country, the road that has to go out there and all the improvements and the fire department services and all that stuff, we have to pay for that.
Right. One of the things that as I have educated myself, not only in the hometown democracy issue, but how growth occurs in a county, really shocked by the dollar value. It seems okay. Here's a piece of property. We grant approval for 500 houses on it, and life is good, with the exception it's a two-lane road getting into it, and then there's traffic problems, and then do we need a light here, and that's an expense that the rest of the taxpayers pay for, and are we going to have some flooding issues because of this, and that's an expense of taxpayers, and will we need to increase the size of a school near this subdivision, and that's a cost and there's just a lot of costs associated with it. And I think one of the driving things, and I've kind of followed the hometown democracy for a while, the driving thing is put out all the factual documentation, tell the absolute truth about everything that's going to occur with this large scale or land use change in your county.
Right.
And then let the voters look at it and have an opportunity to say, I'm okay with this, or I oppose this.
And what the amendment would do is it would require changes to the comprehensive plan be put before a public, changes to the comprehensive plan's land use section,
right,
just the land use section, be put to a public vote before they can be approved.
Right.
And of course, like we mentioned before, what the comprehensive plan is supposed to do is it's supposed to guide growth. And the idea being that you sort of would like to have growth happen from the already built up urban centers out, where you don't destroy natural resources, where you don't destroy farmland if possible, where you don't have little spots here, there, and everywhere, you know, sort of willy-nilly cropping up. And every county has a comprehensive plan. Florida law requires them to. Our county has a very good comprehensive plan, but many other counties have good comprehensive plans as well. The problem is that they haven't been followed.
Right.
Every time somebody wants to change a section, in other words, to put in development where it's not thus far approved, it requires an amendment to the comp plan. And typically throughout Florida, what we're seeing is any amendment that comes before commissions, especially in Central and South Florida, they're approved.
Right.
And so there's really been no guidance in planning as far as growth goes,
and no reasonable control. And I will give, and look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to try to be fair about this. Do I agree with every word that's in Hometown Democracy? I'm a little concerned that they maybe should have picked a square footage that has to be voted on. But you're going to hear a lot of things. Now I'm going to give two examples which occurred in Santa Rosa County. One was we went through a process that some thought was a proper process. I don't believe it was a proper process, but we allowed high-rise condominiums in the heart of Navarre on the south side.
Yes, and right.
And
there was actually a significant organized protest against that, and they were basically ignored. Right. And let me remind you that the final meeting for that, before it went forward with the so-called public input meeting, happened the night before Ivan.
Right.
Hurricane Ivan.
When
nobody was available.
And had we had the process that Hometown Democracy is suggesting, all the meetings could have been held. The developers and those who wanted that process would have been required to get out and educate the people, and then we would have had a vote on it.
Right.
The other one that was very troubling in Santa Rosa County, and I know I wasn't the only one that was howling about it, was Jubilee, the 20,000 house subdivision. You know, everything encased in one area. We're going to have businesses, and we're going to have this, and you know, the whole this is going to be great. Well, as of to date, it's absolutely nothing. It fell apart. There's been many financial liens placed upon it and all that.
Unfortunately, it fell apart after they had started knocking the trees down.
Right.
That keep the soil from eroding out there.
Right. So this is just a warm-up, ladies and gentlemen. I am quite certain that during this year, matter of fact, as I was driving here today, a story on CNN radio from the state of Florida. Of course, the Chamber of Commerce is against Hometown Democracy. When I see so many people that are willing to put their name on a petition card, and the effort that has been put forth to finally reach all the hurdles to get it on the ballot, I have a tendency to believe there's a lot of citizen support for this bill, and I certainly agree with it. I'm a little concerned about the unwielding power of how all of a sudden things occur in my county that affect me. Even though I might not be living next door to it, they still affect me.
Well, and the unfortunate part is the reason that they came up with this idea is because we have a process that's supposed to work and protect citizens through the comprehensive plan,
right,
and it's just ignored.